Don, how have you seen Anders approach this training camp, and what's he have to do? What's the path to him carving out a full-time role in this league? You know him pretty well.
With Bjorky?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's he's in the league, and that's a great spot to be, and you just got to be ready for the opportunity. When there is opportunity, that window of opportunity, you've got to be able to seize it and perform to the point that coaches make decisions that that you can't take the guy out, type of thing. And I think that's where he's had a career that's of some length now, and that's really the final step for any player to consistency, is when you get opportunity, do the things that there's always talk you have to replace somebody to play in this league. When you're working with younger players and players before they enter the league, they're used to the birth year of they move up from one level to the next level, and all those players moved out, and there's roster spots open all over. In the NHL, there's no roster spots, so you actually have to take somebody's job, do it better than them. And so I think I'm generalizing. I don't even need to get specific on any player. That's the key. If you want consistency in the lineup, contribute to the level that the coaches and management don't want to take you out.
What helped Vinny integrate so well last year when he looked back on it?
What helped him?
Yeah.
Competitiveness. He just he's made himself a better player. He's a player I was with in Chicago, and worked with him a lot as an assistant in Chicago, and he has made himself a better hockey player over the last 4 years, and really quite a bit over the last year. He was this, if you guys can remember when he came in here, his energy had sometimes controlled him. He's really, he's a high energy guy that's learned how to control his energy and use it situationally at the right times, right moments. He is a very dynamic, quick player, and he's playing the game using more quickness, a little bit less speed, and he's not running and using speed all the time. He's actually timing things very well and using quickness. So those are some specifics to why he's better, but he's made himself better. I think he's always been a hard worker. He's always been competitive. I think he's really started to internalize, study things, study the game, study his position, and made himself better.
When Benny scored that goal the other night, the pass came from Skinner. And I looked it up and didn't realize that Skinner's assist total last year was his highest since his rookie year. Some of that was obviously playing Tage.
Mm-hmm.
But just how much did you sense, not just the goals, but his offensive game in general became a lot more balanced at times last year?
Yeah, his performance last year, obviously we knew we had a good hockey player, but I was, the fans in Buffalo probably knew him as a better player than I did. I didn't get to see him day in and day out. Obviously, he had 40 goals before I was here. And so he progressively showed me things that I hadn't seen out of his game last year. And playmaking is one of them. Puck protection is another. Ability to extend possession long enough. Not only can he extend possession by keeping it away from the defender that's on him because of hand skill and low center of gravity strength, whatever techniques that he uses, he's doing that because he knows there's another play to be made. And he's doing that no longer in a scoring position, but in a playmaking position. So it kind of goes hand in hand. His skill set is way beyond scoring goals, because you can loft the puck to him and he can hang on to it, from our defensive zone out past the red line. And he's got two defenders, literally two defensemen trying to get it from him. And he can buy 1,000, 1,000 seconds for the rush to then get in there to support and then make a play. So, his skill set, I haven't heard many people talk about his ability to make plays. I think it goes with his hockey sense and the ability to extend possession, like I said. And that was something that became more and more evident as he gained more confidence, I think.
And how much, when you know that he's on, how much of this going on makes you sense that he's really on?
It does. Any guy that is, sometimes their emotions then just get, they cross the line and their emotions are, they don't have control of their emotions anymore. So there's a balance there. But yes, I think when guys are, in the zone or more toward the zone, they are. You see that energy coming out of them. But I think him as an experienced NHL player now, he does a pretty good job of controlling it. Sometimes they have to remind him or snap him out of it, but it's a good thing. I'd much rather be doing that than the reverse. So, but no, great observations on asking those questions about his playmaking, because that's something that nobody's talked about from a skill set that he has that extends plays and gives him the ability to make them. So,
As far as Vinny's versus Hildy, how much of a strength is that for him, for you guys? Like, we've already seen he's been up and down the line.
it is absolutely a huge consideration when we were talking about our desire to re-sign him, to bring him back, was his ability to fit in so many different slots within a lineup, so many different positions within a lineup. And I say slots, first line to fourth line, positions, right wing to left wing. And he, it almost sounds stupid, practice, but practice is important. And that I don't mean to say he's great for us in practice like it's he's not great for us in a game. He's great, but he drives it. Like, everything matters to Vinny. So, where you run practices, the number of practices we do, you don't want guys to go through the motions. You want guys to pay attention to details. And he has done that his entire career, and that helps, as he's a real positive influence for other guys and makes other guys compete harder in a practice, which helps them compete better in a game. And he pays attention to details. So beyond just the obvious that we would see in an NHL game, there's much more depth to it, to why he's a valuable player for us.
How important is it for you to have a whole lineup of guys that just want to push the puck up the ice, that want to press the issue?
Very important, especially and Joe, you probably heard me say it when I did take the position, even as an interim. I said that there's one, you can't guarantee wins as a coach, but you can guarantee how you play. And this sport is supposed to be there's some passion and energy involved in this sport that I think needs to be unlocked, and that is playing a high-paced, up-tempo game. And you can't do that to its fullest if you don't have players that enjoy that and thrive on that. And I thought we had a lot of them when I took over. I think we've done a targeted just that as we brought new players in and had to make our decisions, Vinny being one of them. We want to play a game that people want to come to the rink to see. And I can remember as a kid, my parents had season tickets for the Blackhawks, and it was, you'd go to the game and you'd bring your neighbor that never saw a hockey game, and you, on the car ride there, you were excited, telling, watch this guy, watch that guy, watch, what's going to happen here. That was, fun to do that, and that's what we want here. And so we need players that feel the same way, and I think we have them.
Thanks, everybody.
Yep.